Hello, everyone. We are starting Brachos Daf Nun Tesel and Beis, which is the shortest Amud until the final Amud of this Masechta for the rest of Brachos. With that, we'll jump right in. We are right at the top. The first two words, Tanu Rabbanan. The rabbis taught, Haroeh Chama B'Tkufasav. Someone sees the sun in its Tekufa. And this means if someone sees a type of solar equinox, which only happens once every 28 years. This is the kind of thing where this is a event where the sun is in the same place it was, according to Jewish tradition, at the moment it was created in Maaseh Bereshis. And it only happens once every 24 years, specifically on a Wednesday, every April 8th, once every 28 years. The next time it will happen will be in 2037. So that's in almost 17 years from a few weeks ago. It's going to happen again. So if someone sees the sun in that state, Levana B'Gvurasa, or the moon in her strength, the Kochavim B'Msilosam, or planets in their Mesilos, in their pathways, Umazalos Kesidron, or the constellations when they are in their order. Omer, a person should say Baruch Ose Bereshis. Ve'emas Have, and when does this happen? Amar Abaya says, Kol Kaf Ches Shana, every 28 years, Shanin, 28 years. V'Hadar Machzer, and then it returns back to the cycle. V'Nafla Tekufas Nisan B'Shabtai, and then the Tekufa of Nisan, the equinox of the spring, falls out on Shabtai, which is Saturn. But Urta Detlas Naghai Arba, and happens on the night of the third day, which is going into the fourth day, which is the night of Tuesday going into Wednesday. That's when this happens. And the Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam and others bring this kehalacha, and they say how this is the Shulchan Aruch in Aruch Chaim 229.2. Haroa Chamot B'Tkufasa, someone sees the sun in its Tkufa, which is the once every 28 years kind of thing. That's every 28 years. Tkufa B'Tchilas Leil Dalid, and this Tkufa is at the start of the fourth night of the week, which is Tuesday night. Kisharoa Osa B'Yom Dalad B'Boker, when you see it on Wednesday in the morning, Omer, a person should say, Baruch Ose Bereshis, blessed is the one who makes Bereshis. V'chein, and similarly, and this is the part we're going to focus on for just a moment, Nevarach Gamkin Yishnol to make a bracha Kisharoa Levana B'Taharasa, when a person sees a pure moon, the Kochavim B'Mishmar Osam, and the stars when they are in their Mishmaros, the Mazalos B'itam, and the constellations in their time. Now, this is not Kiddush Levana. These are not none of the brachos we make today that we're familiar with. The Hainu Kishet Tachzor HaLevana B'Tchilas Mazal Taleh. This is when the moon goes in the beginning of the constellation of the Ram, I believe. B'Tchilas HaChodesh, at the beginning of the month. Velotia Nota Lo Tzafon V'Lo Darom, and it's not leaning not to the north or not to the south. V'Kein Kishet Yachzor Kol Chochav Mechamisha Hanisharim. And also when the five planets which are visible from by the naked eye, so not planets that are very far away, like at one point Pluto or Uranus, those planets are too far away to be seen by the naked eye, but the five that are seen, Mars, Jupiter, I believe Jupiter, and then three others, I don't remember which ones, but these five, Chilas Mazal Taleh, when they are in the constellation of the Ram, Aries, and they're not leaning not to the south, not to the north. And also anytime a person sees this, the constellation of the Ram, Ole Miktos Hamizrach, leaning to the eastern side, then a person should make the same bracha, Baruch Ose Bereshis. On this halacha, however, the Mishnah Berurah comes along on the second half, the whole part mentioned from V'chein until the end. And the Mishnah Berurah says, but nowadays, ein noagin ha'olam bezeh. The world is not noheg, it's not our minhag to say this bracha, these brachos. So on these things, we don't make the bracha. But on the sun, Birkas HaChama is something that is made. And I remember when I was in, I believe it was 8th grade, Birkas HaChama happened, and all the rabbim were talking about it. And they said this is once every 28 years. And, it's going to happen in another 17 years or so, and it's going to be something special. You guys are going to see this, a few times. It's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so that is the that part of the Gemara. We move on, and now we move into the next part of the Mishnah. Yehuda Omer Haroeh Hayam. So we go back to 45a, where the Mishnah said, Rabbi Yehuda says, Haroa es hayam hagadol, someone sees the great sea or the ocean. Omer should say, Baruch she'asa es hayam hagadol, blessed is the one who makes the great sea, Zman sheruhu leprakim, but only if he sees it at certain intervals. And the Gemara is going to explain how long these intervals have to be. Leprakim ad kama, so what are these, how long are these intervals? Amar Rami bar Abba, Amar Yitzchak, Rami bar Abba said in the name of Rav Yitzchak, Ad Shloshim Yom. These are 30 days. Once every 30 days, he can make this bracha on the sea. The Amar Rami bar Abba, Amar Rav Yitzchak, and Rami bar Abba said in the name of Rav Yitzchak, Haroeh Paras Agasher de Bavel Amar. If someone sees the Euphrates River by the Agashra, by the bridge of Bavel, Amar should say Baruch Osa Gracious. Should say the same bracha. Because the Euphrates River what is one of the rivers that's mentioned in Berakhos, as we'll see in a moment. And now that the Persians changed this river, they altered the natural landscape of it to make it quite different. From Beis Shavur Ulael and onward from that point, and only then should a person make the bracha. From this place, Beis Shavur. What exactly is Beis Shavur? I'm not sure, but from that point, it still retained its natural originality, and that's the place where person, if he sees it, can make this bracha on it. Rav Yosef Amar, but according to Rav Yosef, Me'ihi dekira ul, from this place of Iri dekira, and onward. That's the place where a person can, if he sees this Paras river, the Euphrates, from there, that's where he can make the bracha. The Amar Rami bar Abba says, Haroeh diglas agashra the Shavistina, Omer. If someone sees the Douglas, the Tigris River, by the bridge of Shavistina, Omer, you should say, Baruch Osa Berakhos, blessed is the one who created Berakhos. And my Chidekel, what is the Chidekel? Why is it called, the Tigris River called the Chidekel in Berakhos? Amar Ravashi explains, Shememav Chadim v'Kalin. Chidekel is from the word of Chadin, Kalin. Its waters are swift and sharp. Chadin v'Kalin. My Paras. So why is it called Paras? Pras. Shemema Parin v'Ravin, because its waters are fruitful and multiply. Rava and Rava says, Hi dechrife b'nei Mechuza. Why are the citizens of Mechuza, the city that he grew up in, why are they so charif? Mishum de maya de Diglas, because they drink the water of Diglas, of this river, of the Tigris River. Hi digichore, and the reason why they are very, they have a reddish complexion. Mishum de misham shmei mama, because their parents had relations, they were conceived during the daytime. And the reason that they blink their eyes so much, Mishum Didairu the base afel, because they live in very dark houses. So all that being said, now we move on to the next part of the Mishnah, back to 45a. Al hagishamim, on rains, val b'suros tovos, and on good tidings. Omer, a person should say, Baruch hatov ha'metiv, blessed is the one who is good and who does good, or makes good. Al b'suros raos, and on bad tidings, Omer, a person should say, Baruch dayan ha'emes. Into the Gemara. Val hagishamim hatov ha'metiv mevarach. Is it true that we actually say hatov ha'metiv on rains? V'amar Ravavo, but Ravavo said v'amri la masnisatana, and others hold that it wasn't Ravavo, but we learned this in the Mishnah. When do we say the bracha on Geshamim? Misha yatsa chasan likras kala. When the time the chasan, the groom, likras kala, goes out to greet the bride. What does that mean? In Maseches Tanis, there's this line which says Mitra ba'ala da'ara, that the rain is the husband of the ground. So at the time the husband comes down, the rain starts coming, likras kala, to greet his bride, to greet the earth. So when the rain starts falling down to the earth, when that happens, one blessing do we say? Amar Rav Yehuda says, Modim anach lach, we are admitting to you, or we are thanking you. I'll call tipa v'tipa sheharedes lanu, on every single drop of rain which you caused to fall for us. Rabbi Yochanan Messiah Bahachi, and Rabbi Yochanan closed with the following bracha: Ilu pilu male shira kayam. Even if our mouths were full of song like the sea, v'chulo, etc. And this is an extended bracha. It had more. He had said more. Ein anu maspikin lahodos l'cha Hashem Elokeinu. It would not be enough to say all the praise for you, Hashem, our God, ad tishachaveh, until all the people bow down in front of you. Baruch atah Hashem, blessed are you, Hashem, rov hahodos, who most of the thanks are due. So the Gemara asks, rov hahodos, v'lo kol hahodos. So we say most of the thanks and not all the thanks. Surely all the thanks are owed to God. Amar Rava, so Rava says, Ema hakel haodos. Really say the God of thanks, and that's how we should close the bracha. So Amar Rav Papa, Rav Papa said, Hilkach nimrinhu l'tavayu. Therefore, let's say like both of them. Rov haodos, v'hakel haodos. The many blessings and the God of blessings. So what's the question? The question is that the bracha here, the bracha that Rabbi Yochanan, yes, the Rabbi Yochanan was Messiah, was Baruch Atah Hashem, Rov Haodos, not Hatov HaMeitiv. So what's going on? Belakasha. So there's a contradiction between one teaching and another. Lo kasha, not a problem. Ha Deshama Mishma. One is talking if he heard that there's rain from someone else. Ha Dechaza Mechzi. And the other is referring to if he saw that it's actually there's rain falling. Deshama Mishma. Hainu B'suros Tovos. But isn't if he hears there's rain, if someone tells him there's rain, isn't that just considered B'suros Tovos? As we learned in the Mishnah, Utnan, and we learned in the Mishnah, Al B'suros Tovos. If there are good tidings, Omar, a person should say, Baruch Hatov HaMeitiv. Blessed is Hatov HaMeitiv, not the Shechianu. So why should we or not? So it's the same bracha. Why do we have to teach it twice? Why do we have to teach the same idea twice in the same Mishnah? So this is the question. Ella, well, let me just explain the question. Because the Mishnah, back on 45a, said, Al Geshamim, on rain, we say Baruch HaTov HaMeitiv, and on B'suros Tovos, we said Tov HaMeitiv. So the question is, if this Mishnah is referring to rain, which really are just B'suros Tovos that you heard from someone who explained it's raining, and that's good tidings, then it's kind of redundant. Why do we need to say Al Geshamim ve'al B'suros Tovos? Geshamim, the rain, will be included in B'suros Tovos. That's the question being asked over here. Now the answer the Gemara comes to give, Ella, really both examples are cases where a person saw that the rain is falling, but there's still no problem. Ha da'asa pursa. One is if there's only a little bit of rain falling. The ha da'asa tuva. And the other if there is a lot of rain falling. The by same, and if you want, I'll give you a different answer. Ha v'ha da'asa tuva. They're both talking when there is a lot of rain falling. Lo kasha, and there's still not a problem. Ha de'isle'ara. One is if he has some property of land, a farm, which the rain will benefit. Ha de'lesle'ara. And the other is referring to a case where a person does not have any farmland. Isle ara hatova meitiv mevarach. And if somebody has land, should he say hatova hameitiv? No, it's not. We learned in another brisa, or in the Mishnah, which we will take a look at next, coming up in the Gemara. Bana bayis chadash. If someone built a new house, v'kanai kelim chadashim, or bought new clothes, Omer should say baruch shechanu v'kimanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Should say that bracha. Shelo v'shalacherim Omer, and for him and for others, he should say hatov v'hameitiv. Now that part we don't have in our Mishnah, but the Gemara brings it here as if it were all part of our Mishnah. So lo kasha, it's still not a problem. Ha de isle shutfus. This is referring to if he had a partnership in his field, meaning him and other people are owning this field, and therefore, since the Mishnah said, as quoted by the Gemara here, that shelo v'shalacherim, if it belongs to him and to others, and there are two people benefiting at the same time, then he says Tova HaMeitiv. So there, when the Gemara said, when you see rain, you said Tova HaMeitiv, it's talking about a case where there is a partnership in the field. And the other case, Hadales Le Shutfus. The other cases where there is not a partnership, he just owns the field by himself. But Tanya, but we learned in another brisa, Ketar Shel Davar, the kitzur of the matter, the shorthand, the explanation of the entire thing. Al Shalohu Omer Baruch Shechianu V'Kimanu. So for something that belongs to him, he should say Shechianu. Al Shalov Al Shal Chavero, and for something that's his and his friends, he should say, Omer should say, Baruch Hatov V'Hameitiv. A different bracha. The Kol Hecha Deles La'Acharina B'Haja Lo Mevarach Hatov V'Hameitiv. And if anything that a person owns only by himself and not with someone else, and he doesn't say atov v'hametiv, but Tanya, but we learned in another brisa, Amrulei Yalda Ishto Zachar, if someone was told that his wife had given birth to a male son, Omer should say Baruch Atov v'hametiv, blessed as Atov v'hametiv, and that's a case of something where it's not he's not benefiting his friend down the street. It's just him. It's his family. He's the one who's benefiting from having this new son. So why would he have to say Atov v'hametiv? It's a case. It seems to be a case of a person who is saying Atov v'hametiv for something that only benefits him. So Hassam there, the most obvious answer in the world, and I don't even understand how the Gemara could have brought this up as a question in the first place. This answer is so obvious. Hassam, in that case, Nami de'eka ishto bahade, that his wife is also benefiting from the same thing. The Nichala bezachar, because she's also happy to have a son. So I don't understand why the Gemara even could raise the question in the first place, because that is such an obvious answer. How the question could even have been raised, it is a pella for me personally. I struggle with this. Okay, well, moving on. Tashma, coming here. Meis aviv v'hu yorsho. If a person's father died and he is an inheritor, b'tchila omer baruch dayan ha'emes. At first he should say baruch dayan ha'emes. That's on b'suros ra'os, on bad tidings. L'basof omer, and on the end he should say baruch hatov ha'mitiv. That's on the b'suros tovos of receiving a lot of inheritance, a lot of money for himself, or a lot of possession. So Hasam Nami, there also De'ika Achai or Achei De'kayarsi V'hadeh. There it's referring to a case where there are other brothers who are inheriting with him. So he's saying Hatov V'hametiv on a thing where he is benefiting along with other people. Tashma, come in here, another potential contradiction to these teachings. Shinui Yayin Ein Tzarech Levarich. If someone has brought a new type of wine after he's already made a hagafen, he does not need to make another bracha. Shinu makom, but if he went to another place, like another table, he needs to make a new bracha on the wine there. Amar Rav Yosef bar Abba, Amar Rav Yochanan, and Rav Yosef bar Abba said the name of Rav Yochanan, even though we said that if they change the wine, you don't need to make the bracha. He should say the bracha Baruch Hatov Ha'metiv, even though he doesn't need to say a hagafen. If they bring him a new and better wine to the table, he should say a hatov ha'metiv. So this seems to be a case where a person is just sitting by himself and drinking by himself, and he's saying a hatov ha'metiv for something good that's happening just for himself. And in fact, just as a side, this is halacha, that if a person is drinking wine at a suda and a better bottle of wine comes to the table, we say a hatov ha'metiv. This is one of the cases where we make the bracha nowadays. So Hassam, so over there, Nami, it's also a case where there are multiple people. The Ika b'nei chabura d'shasu b'hadeh, because there are many other people at the table who are drinking with him. So in all cases, Hatov v'hametiv is a bracha which is only said on things which multiple people benefit from it in some way. So that is that part of the Gemara. And we move on to the next part of the Mishnah. Bana bayis chadash, if a person built a new house, v'kana kelim chadashim, or bought new clothing, Omer should say, Baruch shechianu v'kimanu v'genu lazman hazeh. Blessed is the one who kept me alive, it sustained me, and brought me to this time. Amar Rav Huna said, Lo shanu ela she'ein lo kayoti behen. This is only referring, he only makes this bracha if he doesn't own similar types of clothes. Aval yesh lo kayoti behen, but if he does own similar kinds of things, he doesn't need to make this bracha. For Rabbi Yochanan Amar, but according to Rabbi Yochanan, Machlokas Rav Huna and Rabbi Yochanan, afilu yesh lo kayot behen, even if he has similar types of things, tzarech levarech, he still has to make the bracha. So miklal tikikana v'chazer v'kana divrei kol einat tzarech levarech. So it seems that if a person bought some clothes and then he returned them, or then he went back to the store and then he bought some more, divrei hakol ein tzarech levarech. Then according to everybody, he would not need to make a bracha. Vika Amri, and some say Amar Rav Huna. Rav Huna says, some explain the Machlokas Rav Huna and Rav Yochanan slightly differently, and this is how they explain it. So according to Rav Yochanan, Lo shanu ela shlokana v'chazer v'kana, that this idea of making this shechianu is only if he didn't buy again, that he didn't buy in the first place, and then he went and he bought the second time. Aval kana v'chazer v'kana, but if he purchased and then returned and bought again, ain't tzarich levarach. Then he doesn't need to make the bracha. For Rav Yochanan Amar, and according to Rav Yochanan, afilu kana v'chazer v'kana tzarich levarach. Even if he went, bought clothing, went back, bought even more, he has to make the bracha. A slightly different understanding of what hamachlokas is and how it exactly shapes up, and this is going to become very relevant to the following Tanaitic source that the Gemara is about to examine. Miklal diki yeshlo. It seems that if he owns these types of clothes, vikana, and then he purchases the clothes, divrei hakol tzarich levarach. According to everybody, he still has to say a bracha on these clothes. Meisvei, we raise a problem. Bana bayis chadash. If a person built a new house, ve'ein lo kayotzibo, and he doesn't have one like it already. Kana kilim chadashim ve'ein lo kayotzibehen. If he bought clothing, new clothing, and he didn't have these types of clothing from before, tzarich levarach, he needs to make a bracha. Yesh lo kayotzibehen. But if he did have similar clothing or a similar house from before, ain't tzarich levarach. No need to make the bracha. Divrei Rabbi Meir, according to Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Yehuda Omar, but according to Rabbi Yehuda, ben kach ben kach tzarich levarach. In both cases, you need to make a bracha. Bishlam so that's the Mishnah, or that's the Brisa. So Bishlam alishna kama. The first explanation of the machlokas Rav Huna and Rabbi Yochanan, that makes sense. Rav Huna Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Yehuda. Rav Huna holds like Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yochanan like Rabbi Yehuda. It's a machlokas Tanaim, which came down as a machlokas Amoraim, and that's okay. That makes sense. Elo alishna basra, but to the second explanation of the machlokas Rabbi Yochanan and Rav Huna, Bishlam Rav Huna Rabbi Yehuda. And Rav Huna is clearly holding like Rabbi Yehuda. Alva Rabbi Yochanan to Amar Kaman. But who is Rabbi Yochanan holding like? Rabbi Yochanan can't just argue on a Tana without having another Tana who's backing him up. So which Tana is Rabbi Yochanan holding like? Look Rabbi Meir, look Rabbi Yehuda. His opinion is not like Rabbi Meir, and it's not like Rabbi Yehuda either. So Amar Lecha Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan would tell you, Hu Hadin to Rabbi Yehuda. This is the truth is that according to Rabbi Yehuda, kana v'chazer v'kana nami tzarich levarich. That if one buys more clothing after buying it before, he has to make the bracha. V'had the kamiflagi. So the root of the machlokas that they have is b'yeshlo. If a person already owns this kind of thing, v'kana, and then he buys more. L'hodiacha kocho de Rabbi Meir, to tell you the extent of Rabbi Meir's opinion. The afilu kana v'yeshlo, that even if he bought and he v'yeshlo and he had from before, eino tzarich levarach, he does not need to make the bracha. The kol shekain, and all the more so, kana v'chazer v'kana, if he bought and then went to buy again, the ein tzarich levarach. For sure, he does not have to make a bracha in that case. So the question on this is v'liflagu b'kana v'chazer v'kana the ein tzarich levarach. Maybe they're arguing about a case where the person bought and then bought again, that he doesn't have to make the bracha. L'hod diacha kocha de Rabbi Yehuda, to tell you the extent of Rabbi Yehuda's opinion on the other side of the machlokes. So the answer, koch de hetera adifla, that the power of a heter is stronger. And on this line, there's a Rashi in Maseches Beitza that we have to look at, and with this we'll close. But this is the Rashi. Rashi says as follows. The hetera adifla, that a heter is stronger, a stronger halachic position. Why is a heter, a matir, an allowance, why is that a stronger halachic position? Tovlo l'hashminu koach divrei hamatir, is better or stronger to listen to the person who's making the matir, the person who's doing a matir, more mekel posek, has a stronger halachic backing. Why is that? Because he relies on the halachas that he learned, on the teachings that he was taught. And he's not afraid to be matir this particular thing. But the power of someone who's prohibiting something, it's not a proof. Because anybody is able to be more machmir. Anybody is able to say, maybe it's usher, maybe it's better not, don't do it, I'm not so sure. Even over something that's mutter. But if someone is saying that this thing is okay, that is mutter, you're allowed to do it, he must know what he's talking about. And that's why koach of the matir is stronger than the koach of the one who's making usher. So that is an important Rashi. And tomorrow we are going to continue on the next Amud. And I hope that was clear, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.